Assalamualaikum. My name is Hina Shanze, roll number 190082311004, Department BS Biotechnology, and my subject is Principles of Chemistry 2. So the topic of my presentation is NMR spectroscopy. As my group members has already discussed about the NMR spectroscopy, so I'll proceed towards advantages and disadvantages, interpretation of NMR spectroscopy, and its conclusion. Firstly, here come the advantages of NMR spectroscopy, which is the part of my presentation. It is high precision technique. First point. Second point, it is reproducible. Third one, the sample can be recovered fully and can be used for other applications. Fourth one is changes in metabolic reaction can be monitored over time. Fifth one is the data acquisition and the downstream data analysis is fast. And the sixth one is no ionizing radiation is involved in the process, which limits the users and the samples to exposure to radioactivity. So these were the advantages of NMR spectroscopy. NMR means nuclear magnetic resonance. Disadvantages of nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. It's NMR spectroscopy, not alone NMR. So keep this thing in mind. Next, the disadvantages are the limitations of NMR spectroscopy. NMR spectroscopy requires expensive equipment. Next one, determining the structures for higher molecular weight molecules is a problem. Next, third one is NMR is less sensitive than mass spectroscopy since it requires a sample amount in milligrams, whereas it is a picogram for from MS. MS means mass spectroscopy. Next point is great care must be taken when using ferromagnetic material in close proximity to NMR because of the strong magnet, as they can potentially become dangerous for the machine and users. Next point is ionic states of elements cannot be deciphered using NMR, and hydrogen atoms in a molecule having similar resonant frequency could be hard to resolve. Next point is only nuclei having magnetic moments could be analyzed. These were the limitations and disadvantages of the NMR spectroscopy. As we know that everything that has advantages must have disadvantages because nothing is perfect. So moving on towards the interpretation of NMR spectroscopy. Firstly, I will tell about interpretation. Nuclear magnetic resonance interpretation plays a important role in molecular identifications as interpreting NMR spectra. The structure of an unknown compound as well as known structures can be assigned by several factors like chemical shift, spin multiplicity, coupling constants, and integration. These are the some terms used here. So, first point in interpretation of NMR spectroscopy is number of signals in proton NMR. Hydrogen atoms in different environments respond differently to the field. Each different environment of protons produces signal in a different positions. So protons can be classified as equivalent protons and non-equivalent protons. Equivalent protons will show single signal and non-equivalent protons will show more than one signal. Here X methane and X acetaldehyde are the examples. Like it is methane is equivalent protons and these are acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde is non-equivalent proton. Next, moving on towards the next, here comes the test, replacement test, in which chemically equivalent protons and chemically non-equivalent protons must be satisfied. So chemical equivalent protons. Here the replacing of protons like C1 and C3, carbon 1 and carbon 3 give same compounds. This for one chloropropane. So C1 and C3 like carbon 1 and carbon 3 protons are chemically equivalent and have the same chemical shift. So no matter what. Next, moving on towards the chemically non-equivalent protons. Here two terms will be discussed like diastereotropic protons and enantiotropic protons. Diastereotropic protons are the replacement by some arbitrary test group generate diastereoisomers. Diastereotropic protons can have different chemical shifts. Okay, this keep this one in mind. And enantiotropic, it is opposite to it, are in mirror image environments. Replacement by some arbitrary test group generates enantiomers. The that Diastereotropic protons generate dias diastereoisomers, and it generates enantiomers. Enantiotropic protons have same chemical shift. Diastereotropic protons have different chemical shift and they have the same chemical shift. So this is the main difference between them. Now chemical shift which is discussed here must be like we should discuss in detail. In in nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, the chemical shift is the resonant frequency of a nucleus related to a standard in a magnetic field. Often the position and number of chemical shifts are diagnostic of the structure of the molecule, as it depends on the structure of the molecule. So the first point is cleared, which was the um, number of signals in proton NMR, as we have discussed here: equivalent protons, on equivalent protons, classifications of protons, and then um, replacement test, which we have discussed here, and we have discussed it in detail. Now moving on towards next point, which is H1 NMR peak level. So, peak area proportional to hydrogen are in each signal. It is given in ratio. Intensity is upward and chemical shift is downward. It is methyl a dimethyl propionate, and we can see the graph drawn here, and we can easily get the peak area by this. So moving on towards the next point, which is chemical shifts. H1 NMR chemical shifts, these were the peak areas. The TMS here in this graph and in the above graph which we have mentioned means the transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS. And we will discuss the chemical shifts of 2,3-dimethyl butene here. The position of the signals in the spectrum helps to know the nature of protons, like is they are aromatic or aliphatic, are vinylic or acetylenic. So adjacent to same electron attracting or electron releasing group. Each of these types of proton will have different electronic environments and thus will absorb different applied field strengths. So here another term comes like field strengths. When a molecule is placed in a magnetic field, its electrons are caused to circulate and thus they produce secondary magnetic fields. Induced magnetic fields are the secondary magnetic fields. So rotation of electrons about the nearby nucleus generates a field that can either oppose or reinforce the applied field at the proton, especially pi electrons. And if the induced field opposes the applied field, then proton is said to be shielded. But if the induced field reinforces added strength to the applied field, then proton feels such higher field, and such proton is called deshielded. Like, and such shifts in the position of NMR absorption, which rise due to shielding or deshielding of protons by electrons, are called chemical shifts. The degree of shielding depends on the density of circulating electron. Here, hydrogen under concentration, we put hydrogen under concentration. All the hydrogens present here, we will put them in under concentration. Here, base chemical shift, and here one, 2,3-dimethyl 2-butene chemical shift is given, and the total will be 1.65 ppm. Next, fourth point is H1 NMR spin splitting. As these four parts were the main points of the interpretation of NMR spectroscopy, so I have discussed them in detail with the help of example and graphs which were suitable. So here in spin splitting, first I will let you know that what is spin splitting. It occurs only between non-equivalent protons on the same carbon and adjacent carbons. Peaks are often split into multiple peaks due to magnetic interactions between non-equivalent protons on adjacent carbons. This process is called spin splitting. It can be singlet, doublet, triplet, quartet, quintet, sextet, and septet. So Next, moving on towards here is spin coupling is occurring here. Here it's occurring between two equivalent atoms as they are on the same carbon, and here spin coupling between occurs between three equivalent carbons. These are also on the same carbon, so there occurs three equivalent Hb atoms. And now always if one spin will be upward, then another will be downward. So due to this we can easily get the difference and can have the molecular weight must be known by this NMR spectroscopy. So next, the conclusion is that NMR spectroscopy is miles ahead from its 8-decade-old counterpart, from which it bagged the Nobel Prize in 1943. The modern NMR machines are spearheading research in various disciplines such as structural biology, like, and food industry. Structural biology means in which we'll study the structures related to biology, like to human beings or to the living things, structure related to living things. And in living things we know that it plays important role, that chemistry and chemical reactions plays important role in biology, as they are interdisciplinary subjects. So food industry, here its use, and polymer science. um, then NMR spectrum is a qualitative tool widely used. It's a spectrum. NMR spectroscopy is a machine, and NMR spectrum is a qualitative tool widely used in pharmaceutical, chemical, fertilizer industries for structural elucidation of drugs, chemicals, etc. Thank you. That's all from my side. I hope that you like it. And yes, Allah Hafiz. Take care.